The most dangerous idol in human history remains the chaotic, untamed human ego, an internal force that demands absolute control. This ego often functions like an internal deity, constantly demanding immediate physical satisfaction and driving us toward endless consumption. These relentless physical cravings act as a veil over the mind, dulling our spiritual perception and severing our connection to the Creator. Think of the physical body as a wild horse, and the soul, the real person, as the rider. If the soul does not take firm control of the reins, that horse will eventually drive both itself and the rider toward destruction. To prevent this, the practice of fasting serves as a deliberate mechanism to subdue the ego and restore the soul's control. Fasting stands as a continuous decree, passed down since the time of Abraham to every generation of submitters, those who choose to live in total devotion to God alone. Taming this biological instinct allows us to dismantle the illusion of self-sufficiency, reminding us that we are fragile creatures dependent on God's continuous provision. When we deprive the body of food and water, blood pressure lowers, and the digestive system and kidneys enter a state of rest. This redirects energy towards cellular repair. This measured dehydration initiates a cleansing process, neutralizing toxins and safely flushing them from our systems. The physical process mirrors the spiritual one. As the body detoxifies, the temporary starvation weakens the ego's dominance over the mind. As the noise of consumption fades, the soul finally assumes control over the body's base instincts. This intentional physical vulnerability recalibrates our spiritual senses, fully preparing the mind to receive the guidance of the scripture. Ramadan serves as a cosmic anniversary, the specific time coordinate when the scriptural blueprint for human salvation descended to our dimension. This occurred on Laylat Al Qadr, or the Night of Destiny, the exact moment the text of the Final Testament was delivered to earth. The exact timing of this night is not left to human guesswork, as God embedded a mathematical proof within the text itself. Geometrical values assign each letter a specific numerical weight. The phrase Laylat Al Qadr equals 410, and 1,000 months equals 616. Combined, the sum is exactly 1,026. Factoring 1,026 reveals the scriptural mathematical signature, 19. The number is the product of 19 times 27 times 2. This equation identifies the 27th night of Ramadan as the mathematically designated Night of Destiny. A second proof is found in the chapter structure. Sura 97, the chapter of destiny, contains exactly 30 words, mirroring the 30 days of the lunar month. Counting from the beginning, the 27th word is it, referring exactly to the night itself. The precision of these calculations points to the 27th night as a precisely designated divine appointment. The scripture declares that the night of destiny is better than 1,000 months. To put that in perspective, 1,000 months is equivalent to over 83 years of unbroken existence. At a granular level, a single second spent in remembrance of God on this night carries the weight of over 5 million seconds of regular worship. A core principle of spiritual commerce states that righteous works wipe out evil works, offering a path to clear the record of the human soul. We are beginning the analysis by examining the raw data structure of Surah 97, the chapter titled Destiny. Within the chapter's text matrix, we isolate the specific phrase for the Night of Destiny, Laylat Al Qadr. Breaking this phrase down into individual Arabic letters reveals its fundamental data points. It consists of exactly 9 characters, which becomes our primary variable. We then run a text-wide query within the chapter to locate every instance where this 9-letter phrase occurs. The search returns 3 occurrences, located sequentially in verses 1, 2, and 3. By taking the character count and the occurrence rate, we can establish a basic mathematical relationship. Multiplying the 9 letters by the 3 instances yields the number 27. This output maps directly to the lunar calendar, identifying the 27th night of Ramadan. These lexical properties suggest that the text is built to mathematically isolate this specific night. The analysis now moves from character counts to the structural metadata of the entire chapter. We start with the chapter's index number in the Quranic database, Sura 97. Next, we include the total number of verses in this chapter, which is 5. We also scan the text for any explicit integers written within the verses. The scan identifies the number 1000 as the only explicit integer mentioned in the text. We combine these 3 structural parameters into a single sum. Adding the surah number, the verse count, and the embedded integer results in 1102. We test this total against the base 19 framework, a mathematical consistency found throughout the Quran. Dividing 1102 by 19 yields exactly 19 multiplied by 58. This multiple indicates that the chapter's structural parameters are aligned with the broader mathematical code of the scripture. We now expand the scope of the query from this specific chapter to the entire Quranic dataset. We execute a search for every instance of the expression Laylatul Qadr. The phrase is entirely restricted to Surah 97. It does not appear anywhere else in the scripture. Within that chapter, the phrase is located specifically in verses 1, 2, and 3. We add the chapter index to these specific verse coordinates. Summing 97, 1, 2, and 3 produces the integer 103. To analyze this number, we look at the sequence of prime numbers, integers greater than 1 that can only be divided by 1 and themselves. When we cross-reference our result against this sequence, we find the position of 103. The integer 103 is exactly the 27th prime number. These spatial coordinates map precisely to our target variable, the 27th night. We now move from textual metrics to external temporal constants. We can define 3 primary variables that determine the timing of the Night of Destiny. The first variable is the chapter number representing destiny, Surah 97. The second is the position of Ramadan as the 9th month in the lunar calendar. The third is the specific 27th night identified in the previous proofs. We calculate the sum of these 3 temporal variables. Adding 97, 9, and 27 yields 133. We test this temporal result against the base 19 code. Factorization shows that 133 is exactly 19 multiplied by 7. The timing found in the lunar calendar corresponds to the internal mathematical structure of the chapter. Across this analysis, we have observed 4 distinct mathematical results. These results show 2 primary themes: proofs that result in the number 27, and structural sums that are multiples of 19. The structure of Surah 97 aligns with both of these distinct mathematical patterns. This layered coherence suggests a deliberate design rather than random textual arrangement. The data points to a creator who authored and preserved the text with mathematical precision. For submitters, these facts provide a transition from traditional belief to an observation of mathematical patterns. These mathematical alignments point to the 27th night as the intended date of the Night of Destiny. We now move from the math to the practical instructions for this night. Focus on mindful remembrance of God. This specific night offers a unique opportunity for spiritual growth. Worship during this single night is valued more than a lifetime of continual worship. This serves as a mercy designed to compensate for human shortcomings and elevate spiritual ranks. Suggested tasks include observing contact prayers, reading the scripture, and meditating on the verses. Try to remain awake, maintaining your focus and glorifying your Lord. This is an opportunity to silence the noise of the modern world. We can use the 27th night to realign with our Creator. Fasting and observing the Night of Destiny provide a calculated pathway for the human soul to survive its temporary exile and attain salvation. Use this night to seek God's grace and the full blessings of the Night of Destiny.